Hey, and thank you for clicking play. And I'm here with my son Luke, who's been
Hey.
on the channel a few times doing music.
A tiny bit, yeah.
Tiny bit of music. Did a modern version of my theme tune. And doing the stream of Sphinx Adventure, which we need to finish.
Yes.
We do need to return to the coloured rooms.
And I think you tried to steal my room to make a train set.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right, in that video as well. Yeah, I tried to steal every room in the house. None of them are big enough anyway. But yeah, so Luke has written a book. So this is not a paid promotion because I'm not getting anything from Luke to do this, but of course I want to support him. So Luke, tell us about your book.
Well, where to begin? It's a sci-fi action book. It's it's just based in space, not in our galaxy, and there's space battles and beautiful worlds and engaging characters, and they go on an adventure finding out about a war and how to stop the war, and some mystical powers are involved as well, so you get a bit of everything in there.
Nice. What's the book called? Let's go there.
Well, it's called The Horizon Events, A Veil is Torn. A Veil is Torn is technically the book title, book one, because I'm intending to write, and maybe I've even started, which don't tell anyone, but what might be a 3 or 4 book series, something like that. So The Horizon Events is the name of the series, a play on Event Horizon, that inescapable distance from a black hole.
Right.
And so the Horizon Events is the events kind of at the end of the universe, the events that ends it all.
Ah, okay.
Something like that.
I wouldn't know that because I've only got as far as chapter 4.
Yes.
My support for Luke as he wrote this was because knowing he wanted to go full on and publish it. The rest of the family were helping by reading some of your drafts.
Yep.
And my entire input was, I'm not reading a single word until it's published and it's in my hand.
Which I was not happy with. I thought that was the opposite of motivation.
He thought it was a cop-out.
I think
It was legit. That was legit. I wanted to see it published, which is what you've done. I'm
Yes,
incredibly
well, we
proud.
got there.
Yes, yes. So, speaking of writing in secret, tell us a bit about how, when you first came up with the idea,
Yes.
and then when and how that became public knowledge. We can go there.
Yeah, we can. So my writing journey probably began in earnest in high school, and before that I was mostly into maths and science and things like that, but I started getting more into creative writing, and I always had these grand ideas for stories, and it was actually one of my friends who said, you should stop just telling me about all these ideas for, this would be a cool book to read, this would be a cool movie to watch, and maybe you should just write them yourself. And I was like, well, I guess I could give it a go. So I started in high school, started just ignoring all my lessons and writing on the computer instead. And I got most of the way through a draft, and then I decided it wasn't working and I just abandoned it. But I took some of the concepts a few years later and I began this book. But I didn't want to tell anyone. I didn't want to tell anyone until I had something of substance, something to show. And there was a bit of fun in the secrecy for me as well, like, I'm doing something and no one knows about it. And then in 2020, at the age of 20, I had a cardiac arrest.
In this very room, in fact.
Yes, in this room. And it was unexpected for sure. No real lead up. And just miracle upon miracle that kept me here. And when I was brought out of an induced coma in the hospital, a few crazy things going on and, lots of drugs in my system. But one of the first things, apparently, I don't have a good memory of it, but one of the first things I said to my parents was, I can't be here. I've got to finish writing my book. And my parents didn't even know I was writing a book. Dad didn't know. So they're like, well, that's great, Luke. Is it the drugs talking or what's going on?
Yeah.
And so, that's how they knew that I was writing this book. And it's been a lot of years since then, since 2020, obviously. And I've gone through editing and re-editing and really refining the process. And I'm now very happy with what's been produced.
That's good. That's good. It was wow. saying it was funny is not entirely true, because none of that period of life was funny. But obviously, there's a bit of short-term memory loss that occurs after coming out of a coma and also having had a cardiac arrest. And so it was about 3 days later when I said to Luke, we're still in hospital at this point, and said, "So what's with this book that you're writing?" And he literally said, because he'd forgotten what he'd said coming out of the coma, and he said, "How do you know about that?" so that's how the cat got out of the bag. It was quite funny. So you're a keen reader. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know where you get it from, because I'm not. But growing up, you've always had books in your hand. You've always had a book on your go. What were your main inspirations?
A few inspirations for this. It ties a few different things together. Star Wars is a big one. This is a space opera sci-fi, space battles, starfighter combat, things like that. So naturally, Star Wars is big in that field, and I've read a bunch of Star Wars books. Maybe you'll see a few of them behind me.
This universe has nothing to do with the Star Wars universe. Let's just say that.
Yeah. From a glance, I think some people might be like, "Oh, this is like Star Wars," and fair enough. But as someone who knows Star Wars really well, I can tell you all the ways it's very, very different. But then I've also got, with some of my character arcs and some of my more mystical elements that I'm throwing in, it turns out less like, your Jedi and Sith and the Star Wars things, and it actually more trends towards some other authors. Like you've got C.S. Lewis, who did not only the Narnia series, but he actually did a science fiction trilogy called, I think it's called the Cosmic Trilogy or the Space Trilogy. And so he has these beautiful worlds and beautiful imagery looking at our solar system from a pre-moon landing standpoint, because he was writing this in the 40s or the 50s or something like that, and so he's got these beautiful descriptions of what he thinks Mars is like and what he thinks space travel is like, and Jupiter and Venus and all these things before we've even set foot on the moon. And he has some mystical elements in there as well that I think I've drawn on. And yeah, a few other authors just for little bits and pieces, like Wayne Thomas Batson is an author you could look up, and some others, but yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So how do people get hold of your book? Not a paid promotion.
Not a paid promotion. Well,
links in the description.
The main way for most viewers at the moment would be Amazon or Barnes & Noble. I'm not in any physical bookstores around the place. Maybe you can change that if I get really popular. But so all your online bookstores is where you could have a look. Definitely in Amazon, Barnes & Noble, things like that. If you're a local, then you do have the possibility of messaging me on my socials and getting a signed copy in person or something like that. We're looking at doing some book signing events soon at the moment. But yeah, that's about it. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I'm staying away from TikTok for now because I have some gripes with TikTok, but that's okay.
Fair enough, yeah, as do we all. And so if they buy it from Amazon or places like that, it's print on demand, isn't it?
Yes.
So
this is my first time obviously going through this, so I'm still working out what it looks like and how all the interactions work. So at the moment it looks like on Amazon it says temporarily out of stock, but I think that's just because you buy one, they print it, they ship it. You buy another one, they print it, they ship it. So they're never really going to have a stock per se. But yeah, it's print on demand. So yeah.
And this isn't self-published. This is through ArcHouse, is it?
Yeah, ArcHouse Press or just ArcHouse are the publishers that I've gone with. Great people. They've really helped me out with all of that publishing minutiae that I'm completely new to, and it's very complicated. But yeah, I'd also like to say this is a human-authored book. In today's age, it gets a bit confusing, and you've got AI doing all sorts of things. This is a human-authored book. I have not used any generative AI in its creation or in mood boarding or inspiration. None of that. The only software I've used along those lines would be spell checkers from Grammarly and things like that. But none of the generative aspects, all just where do I put the comma, where do I put the capital letter, things like that. So written by humans for humans.
And it's been through several rounds of editing as well, hasn't it? In terms of you've had other people properly look through this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've had one paid editor, Eddie. He was wonderful. Was a great help. I've certainly looked through a million times, and then I've also had friends and family look it over. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Got to mention the stunning artwork on the front.
Yes. So my friend Dax did this. I might be able to put her details in comments and things as well. But yeah, she is a wonderful artist, and she did the artwork for me. And so, yeah, I'm very happy with it.
And that's a key scene in the story as well, isn't it?
Yes, but you wouldn't know about that, would you?
I wouldn't know about that. I probably haven't got that far.
I bet you'll read through the entire thing and you're like, so wait, what chapter was this again?
Wasn't it in the start? No. Isn't that what was happening in the start? That's what I assumed.
To be fair, a lot of space battles look like this moment.
There you go. There's spaceships, there's explosions, and there's stars in the background.
This something blows up. But this, in my mind, this is a particular moment. We'll see if you can pick it out. But
yeah, cool. Like I say, I'm not a big reader, but of course I'm duty bound now to read. No, I'm going to enjoy it because things like Star Wars 2001, 2010, and the other two that came after that. I've read those. This is an area of interest for me.
You've read The Martian.
And The Martian. I like how this cover is nothing like The Martian. We won't go there. Behind the scenes story that we won't bore you about. But this is already pulling me in. It's nice and easy to digest, and it's pulling me in. Just because I can't remember some of the character names doesn't mean the story isn't hooking me.
It might have taken him a few chapters to remember the name of the main character.
Yes.
But
which we won't spoil.
That's his problem, not the books.
It wasn't until chapter 4 I thought, oh wait, is there a type? Oh no, wait, that's how the name is spelled. Okay. So. Cool. Thank you very much, Luke. That's fantastic. And I wish you all the best with the book. Of course I do, because I'm your dad. And I'm very proud. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. Sphinx Adventure soon. Probably. Yeah.